Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. My mouth is very wrong. It's like I did a non-toothy thing and then it just went weird. Okay.
Audio test. Okay, it's moving. We are warming up for the show. If you are watching this in the future, you are watching a recorded live stream, feel free to jump forward to the start of the show. If you're watching right now during the live stream, we'll start in a few minutes. We're just manually resharing our links, but thank you for being there.
Yeah,
Do comment so we know you're there, and we will start the show in a few minutes.
yeah, and classic live stream fashion. We're waiting for waiting for people to join so that we have a bit more of an audience to begin the discussion.
We're not yet at professional level where there's a countdown that we're about to start.
Yeah, and
And then
like
people are joining while waiting.
and then the one time I like tried to schedule an event, it didn't work. And then, but to be fair, that was like under the older interface of Restream, so maybe things have gotten better. We just have to take the plunge and test it.
Yeah, coming very soon. Tang Garden seasons. Have you seen the intro?
I haven't looked at it. I'm scared.
Uh,
I mean, we're committed to buying it. I know. We did Vanguard na, diba, as an episode.
yeah.
I should bring that out again. So I have to bring that out to study what sleeves we need from the set.
Okay, so YouTube is running. I think someone's watching because there's a second like already.
Oh, hello, person who may be watching. As usual.
Facebook, I don't see it yet, so still waiting. Double checking on YouTube. Wow, we're kind of dark. So I'll hit
I
like.
was thinking about that. And then later, when we do the puzzle, we might
Oh.
need the lighting. What? It's maxed out?
It's because I'm having both at the same plug.
One moment, while Toby adjusts lighting mid-show.
No, we haven't started, so officially this is all behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes is Toby trying to find his USB port.
See?
So it was a power drop because they were sharing, so it wasn't running in parallel, I guess.
Two USB devices on one outlet is never good.
Okay, worried if it's gonna burn out a bit. Is this fine?
It's probably burning out a bit.
Nothing is typing because my computer's
Okay,
lagging.
I think I see it now on Facebook. Yeah, there. Whew, it's another warm night.
Yeah. The joys of the colder December period is like rapidly ending as we hit Feb. But yeah, have a happy Chinese New Year, Lunar New Year, depending on how you want to talk about it.
We're ahead of the rest of the world.
But by now they're catching up, ish.
You already have the Cray Havoc expansion.
Yeah, I got it. I found it on Amazon,
Yeah,
and then it's
okay.
here now.
Because I was about to say someone selling with the expansion to do it just for the expansion.
No. This is Toby scouring the secondary market for more fun
Hey, where'd
things.
it go? I already saw it. It's gone.
I already tagged you.
I know.
Yeah, give us a moment.
Frustrating algorithm. See, it doesn't show it.
I just go back to your feed because you may also have not approved the tag.
No, I already did. It shows it. Oh, it's here again. I already approved this. And this. And this one I think.
Such is the way of Facebook.
Whoa, Giselle. Great art. Okay, starting in a few minutes. It's still not appearing on mine. I'll go to yours now. There. Okay, now I see it. I am in. I'm resharing to the mailing messenger.
I guess you could call it that.
And then
Mailing list is a little archaic.
Yeah. and then I'll reshare to some groups.
But it's not a board game. They might. Will they not flag it? Yeah, mid show cleanup. Excuse me. Hey, Andre. Hello. Are you working tonight? Oh, and appropriately, we're wearing our Star Trek Lower Decks badgie shirts because coincidentally, it's the only shirt we have that depicts a holodeck,
Mhm.
which I think fits today's episode. Hi, Mai. Yeah, you made it. I hope your internet holds as we talk about this. Happy Chinese New Year, Andre. Happy Lunar New Year for others, if that's more appropriate. And then depending on dialect, it's like Kung Hai Fa Choi, Gong Si Fa Shai. So people just go, what? So depending on your market, yeah. Toby's just posting a link on his Twitter to try to get people to join.
Stupid.
Yeah, he took out the URL. Oh, they had hot pot. That's nice. We did not eat anything Chinese or even Asian. Well, we had a adobo, so at least it's Asian. Adobo for lunch and then pork chops for dinner.
Okay,
And
Twitter link
watching
shared.
Crash Landing on you. Which we have to go, we have to finish the episode after this because we're in that range of the episodes where each is a movie because it's like 90 minutes long. Good grief. These K dramas and their inconsistent episode lengths. But yeah, I'm gonna prep the credits. We should probably get things rolling,
Mhm.
and then we. Where is my folder?
Then I'll have to finish my salad later and know that's not a porn reference.
Let's start the show. I guess we'll start.
Oh yeah! Really right.
This is Toby.
And this is Rocky.
And if it's your first time here, welcome to Baduy, a little space on the internet where we talk about anything we want.
It's completely unscripted and not entirely accurate, but at least it's honest. Join us as we talk about everything and anything random live.
And if it's not your first time here, thank you so much for joining us again. It's Tuesday, and unlike most Tuesday episodes, we're going digital for this episode.
I mean, we kind of expanded Tuesday to say we're going to talk about games in general, and thankfully, but then today's a day that we're going to be true to that and not just focus on tabletop games.
In as much as we are huge fans of everything such as Exit the Game, Unlock, and most recently Deckscape, Mystery House,
50 Clues,
50 Clues,
Escape Tales,
and fine, we'll also mention Undo, but we're not really there yet. We don't love you yet that much, Undo.
We don't love you, Undo.
Um, we are obviously big fans of escape room type of experiences.
But funnily, we have only played one actual in-person escape room.
Yeah, because we don't like touching things. And
But we got a record. We reckoned the top three in
Yeah.
our timing for that one. That was a good group. Okay,
and we
okay.
thought this topic would be great because one, it is remote play friendly. Two, it's very well done. And three, if you're the type who's worried about spending an amount of money for a single escape experience, this offers not just a set of experiences, but a community that even creates more.
Yeah. So the game we're talking about today, as is the title of the episode, is Escape Simulator. Although it slightly frustrates me because I keep wanting to say Escape Room Simulator,
Mm-hmm.
but it's but I kind of get it because it's not just a room. But so escape simulator
I kind
is
of wanted them to add something like escape simulator course or something, just so that it's ESC. Escape.
okay.
Marketing option that could have been embraced.
Okay. All right. So, what's
Escape
this?
simulator.
Escape Simulator is identified as a first-person puzzler that you can play solo or online. It is
Mhm.
developed by Pine Studio and was released only October of last year.
Mhm.
In case you are curious about the game, it is available for Windows, Mac OS, and Steam Linux.
Yes.
It is available on Steam and is currently on sale for 20% off because of the Chinese New Year sale thing.
The game is based on real life escape room experiences where objects can be taken, inspected, broken, and it's up to you to figure out how things work together to solve and escape the locked premises. The development of the game was slightly less than 2 years, and comes with a very very interesting tool that allows players to create their own escape room experiences.
Yeah, I mean, like the power of level editors, so to speak, has
Mhm.
always been a big thing. I don't know. The earliest level editors you ever encounter are things like I don't know. I'll go back and like Civ 2
Sorry,
or
I'll go further back.
what?
Battle City.
Okay, Battle City is the most amazing but
Battle
frustrating
City.
level
Or
editor.
or even further back, Ice Climber.
I don't remember making an ice climb, or I didn't have the
No.
patience. Because both Battle City and Ice Climber, like you make a level, you play through it once,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's lost
Mm-hmm.
forever. But yeah, so level editors are pretty cool. I was thinking
Yeah.
also the original Warcraft had a
Mm.
early came out with a level editor.
Notice the
Um,
age difference.
wow, okay, we're gonna start off
Because the
that way.
references are there. Your initial
In
ones.
general, for most people, all of these references are old. It does not matter. If you're going to try to draw a line between our generations,
Hey man.
hi, yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, so level editors are the amazing thing that allows people to create their own thing. And in as much as it has been existing from way back, and has caused a lot of big things to happen. For example, from World of Warcraft, we have the advent of Dota, and from Dota, which is Defense of the Ancients, which was originally a fan map created by some fans, we now have esports, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
So just to know that this is Escape Simulator on Steam, and then just for like imagery, it comes with
let's play the video.
okay, sure.
The audio's out, but at least there they can see that.
So there are different like it comes with an initial set of rooms or themed adventures that you can kind of go through. Say there's like an Egyptian one and stuff, and based on that, but you play the game from first person perspective. So the only way actually you'll see
Hmm.
other players and avatars. I'll kill this first. Is by looking at the other players.
Mm-hmm.
The rooms initially start a little cramped. The description of the game does say when you play cooperative, it's best with 2 to 3 players, and I
Mm-hmm.
kind of get that because they've divided each experience. Like for example, there's this Egyptian stage, and then it's actually like 6 or 7 different rooms,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have to delve through each room, and then each room's for in terms of like the size of your avatar, you could fit 4 people all together, but you're all just kind of standing in each of the corners of the
Mm-hmm.
rooms. Um, you cannot collide with one another, which is interesting. But it would be a little cramped.
Mm-hmm.
So I get the 2 to 3 player recommendation, but you can still play it solo. Uh,
When played with other players, the game then offers opportunities where people have to communicate, to coordinate, and share information they're seeing. We're not sure if it's a bug, but we've noticed instances wherein one player might need to ask the other player to do certain controls. Like
oh
remember, I'm
yeah,
trying to press this, and I'm like, I can't adjust this. Can you try? And then you can adjust it, but you couldn't adjust the other switch.
yeah, or like if it's a set of like for example 4 switches, there were cases where as one player me that I could only adjust switches 1 and 2, and then
Mhm.
Toby could adjust switches 3 and
And we
4.
weren't sure if that was intentional.
Yeah, I mean like it's probably a thing. It could be a puzzle solving driver to drive
Mhm.
participation, and then I didn't notice in game communication options.
None.
Which you'll need something like Discord or some other
voice chat
voice support.
system.
Yeah, so that you can talk through,
Unless there was one
challenge it.
and we simply didn't
and we just
realize it
haven't activated
because
it.
we were also playing beside each other.
Yeah,
So we
so
didn't bother to
so
look
we
for
had
it.
the advantage of playing co-op, but then playing together in
Yeah.
the same room. So we just kind of went through
It
it.
doesn't seem to have it.
Yeah, I'm looking quickly at the control options.
The game comes with a number of room sets that you can go through. And I say room sets because each one has a specific theme, but then each one has multiple rooms to go through.
Yes.
We're not sure if it's the same number across the board. But there's the bank, there's Egypt, there's medieval, there's space, there's one which is like a toy room, there's a Victorian era one.
These are the level editor
Yeah.
options.
There's the Halloween inspired one. There's Omega, which was this corporate
Corporation.
feel
Yeah,
that
yeah,
had
yeah.
an interesting theme to it. But then the builder itself, the area where you can build your own stuff, includes even stuff for board games and home appliances. So the board games come with everything with card decks, chessboard pieces, and all that, which just gives you so many options when you want to create your own puzzles and escape rooms.
Okay. So first, for the base experience when you get the game. So number one, if you want to play multiplayer, everybody has to have a copy of the game. It's
Mhm.
one of those situations. And then by adding the name simulator in the name, it does sort of remind you of things like Tabletop Simulator, which is a very great platform for uh, kind of creating your own board game experiences and then adapting it to a
Mhm.
virtual space. So Escape Simulator plays along those lines because of the fact that they give a level editor.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, but you will everybody needs a copy of the game. It's pretty affordable.
You'll need to be used to what is probably more common for people who are used to first person games or first person perspective games wherein you move with the WSAD keys. You can
At least it's not
crouch.
tank controls.
You can crouch with the letter C, if I
Yes.
remember correctly. There's the ability to zoom into some objects. When you pick up objects, they're automatically placed in your inventory. You have an unlimited inventory space, which sometimes smartly combines objects that are meant to be in the same spot. Uh, can be a bit clunky on the first few attempts to use it, as you're like, I want to use this. Oh, I shifted the other item. Okay, I'll use this again. Well, how do I combine this? But once you get the hang of it, it gets very smooth.
Yeah, I know. Like the first time when we did the tutorial levels, we got stuck on the how to make an object interact with another object, which apparently was view one, zoom in, and then you can see your inventory on the lower left. You click and drag the
Yes.
object
Mhm.
onto the spot you want to interact with. So it there's some learning, and it does come with a decent tutorial
Yeah.
to take you through the controls, and then you can kind of start playing the adventures. And I'm gonna pop into that. I don't know how good the streaming is going to be. Um,
You're gonna show the tutorial.
no, just the interface. So like this is your main one. You get to customize your avatar. Because of course this is essential, and then you can kind of, or you can say choose my attire based on the room I'm in, because
Mhm.
they can match the theme. It's pretty basic because it's just like hair, facial hair has broken
Yeah.
down into mustache
We're
and
not
beard.
sure if there's a way to add to this to unlock new customizations. Maybe later when
Yeah.
they start adding in-app purchases or something.
And then whether you play solo, it's the same stages as if you
You load the
play
tutorial just so that will show navigation
co-op.
and stuff.
Okay.
Even if we don't finish the stage.
Let's give this a moment to load. So every stage has to render, and which is also why they divided into rooms so that um, it makes it easier to kind of break down the graphic requirements.
Now, while your main objective in every stage is to try to solve and escape the room, the game adds a second layer of performance based achievement, which is by finding these hidden tokens. Hidden tokens are spread out in the room and hiding in the different places, and by clicking them, you add to your success in terms of the end of the stage. When you play co op, everyone has to find the tokens. So this then encourages communication again. You might find the four tokens, but unless everyone finds all four, you will have a score of 4 out of 8 or out of 12, depending on how many players were present. As you can see here, a lot of the navigation is using the mouse. Keyboard is used to move around, to look around. You could see here, take all three toys by first grabbing them and putting them in your inventory. As you notice, as they're grabbed, they immediately add to your inventory area in the lower left, and there are now number hotkeys allowing you to pull out the shape you need immediately, or you could just use the mouse wheel.
Don't. Oops. Don't. And don't. Double clicking, collecting cubes like crazy. And then when you play this co-op, you will go through the tutorial independently.
Yeah.
So there is an element of sort of persistency between just sorry the each player state has to go through the game experience on their own,
Hmm.
and then
But not necessarily solve the puzzle separately.
yeah, it's just that there's a syncing involved. So this was that okay. Combine object. I wanted to go to the wheel thing, obviously. Oh, it's like a little delayed, sure. And then I have the winding key in my inventory, and I can drag it. And toop.
Yeah, so this one
Yay!
is correct because you have the object zoomed in.
Yeah. The
Um,
first time we played
at
it, it's
first, we
like
kept trying to drag the winch.
the winding wheel thing, the crank.
My shoulders bent. But yeah, we kept trying to drag it to here, this object on screen without zooming in first, so that kept failing. And then there, you can see here, we can enter the code that we saw.
Although the first time we played this, I cheated and just looked in the box. But now I know how to do it properly.
So yeah, so that is a quick glimpse of what it's like. As you can see, the room is currently cramped and small, but the stages get much bigger in the later ones.
I appreciate the little thing that every room has a trash can
Mm.
because is there anything breakable in this one? No. But as you break stuff, um, with
Can
this,
cause a mess.
yeah, you can super cause a mess. But if it's getting in the way, you can just put it in the trash can, and then which I do a lot,
Mm-mm.
and then you can always check the trash can and see what's in there. So it's cool. It's cool. And yeah, and then there's always a timer that will tell you how much time is left.
Generally, each puzzle is expected to be completed in 15 minutes.
Yeah, and then everything you can interact. So you can, if it's too big to pick up, you can drag it. But if you can't pick it up, then you can stick it in your
And then you
inventory.
can press T to toss it.
Oh yeah. Oh, I just highlight, and then if you hold your mouse, then it starts shaking, and you throw it across the room.
Mm.
I throw many things. It's like my basics of escape rooms that uh I start throwing everything and see what happens. Yeah. But yeah, that's the basics of the game. Okay. I'll exit and then I'll stop sharing. So it's a pretty cute interface. And then pretty straightforward. So it just takes some getting used to the whole first person navigation thing. And then the game includes these weird little square things, chips that are secrets. They're secret tokens in the game. There are 8 secret tokens hidden in every level. We have not found all of them.
Mhm.
They are not part of the main puzzle. They're just these little things that reward you for replay and staring at it. So at the moment, in terms of and I didn't close it. Okay, in terms of the base, game, there are only what is this? One, two, three, four, five levels
Mhm.
sort of prepared. And the holiday one is even just one room.
And then they have a daily recommended, I guess, community created level.
Yeah, so this time I'll go back in. So there's the daily picks one, which shows you community created levels.
Popular ones.
At least the popular ones so far.
Mhm.
But if you look at community rooms, these are the ones I've downloaded, and then you can browse, and then it brings you out, which is probably not showing anymore. But
Well,
it sends you to the Steam Workshop.
and there you could see all the other ones created. If you're wondering exactly how many community created rooms might be present, so we tried digging, and the game within its first week of release had already around 50,000 Steam players. Over 250 new rooms were already created in that first week alone.
That's kind of crazy.
Around 1,600 concurrent players, 200,000 pirates. Around 72% of the players played co-op. around 354,000 hours of people watching it on Twitch. And then that early within the first week, they already promised more elements in the editor, more platforms, and more rooms. Because when it comes to the editor, the very robust editor has everything from shapes to walls to different furnishings and doors and the like. All these furnishings are prepared to be simpler to drag and drop and use, but then they also include logic and effects. So using the logic tools, for example, you can identify slots so that if you want to create, let's say, a chessboard and you have to put the queen in the right spot to solve the riddle, then you then use the logic area to identify the slot where the queen should be, and then you can even choose which is the right queen. So you can have like five different queens, different colors,
Hmm.
and you have to use the right color. So it's that robust. The more you know game theory and machine language or machine basic coding, the better you'll be able to do it. But even if you don't, there's a lot of tutorials out there that you can check out. They even have a Discord group that allows you
Hmm.
to reach out and ask information. In one of the threads in the group, I found someone who actually created a stage that just created more logic tools.
Oh
So
wow.
you can download the stage and use those
Then
logic
copy the
tools to make
tools.
your own puzzles.
So yeah, so if you go to the workshop page for Escape Simulator on Steam, then you'll see, oh my gosh, there are so many that are. Look, one says the Philosopher's Stone. How is that not intriguing? In all these things, so you can skim through the most popular, the most subscribed, the most played, the most recent. Of course, these are a bunch of test
Mhm.
ones. So there is a lot, there's a lot of potential stuff. So we've played through all the official Pine Studio levels already. And
Mhm.
then we've already played through a couple of the
Community.
community ones. And it's a mixed bag. Some of them, of course, are going to be very tricky. We played this interesting one called, like, the two of you need to keep, the two of you need to talk.
Mm.
And it was rooms in parallel, which reminds me of that Busted episode
Yeah.
that it had the groups in a situation where they were in different rooms, but the clues
Had to
for each
communicate.
other's puzzles were in each other's rooms. So we
Mm.
had that. So that was like that was a really fun design. There were some wonky puzzles, but the overall concept was great.
Mm.
So it's very very exciting. I mean, um, yes, there are things like Tabletop Simulator, which already provide you with a very
Mm.
robust set of tools. I would not be surprised if you can create sort of an escape room in Tabletop Simulator,
Mhm.
because it's a very big toolkit. But Escape Simulator is a lot more nuanced. It's very specifically focused on this genre, and it does it well. And then Toby, there are already like a lot of YouTube videos that provide instructions or like guides on how to build rooms in the level editor. Toby was trying to go through some the other night, and then it looks kind of exciting.
Mhm.
Um,
It gives me the feels of
you're gonna say
game.
Little Big Planet?
Yes, Little Big Planet, which was back in the PlayStation, and I think it's also on Steam, but I could be wrong.
Ah,
But Little Big Planet was one of those games that opened the doors to creating your own games back on the console, and similarly, stuff like Minecraft and Roblox, where people are able to create their own content. After all, user-generated content is the way to have your business last longer if people love your product.
yeah, and then for I mean, because going back to Little Big Planet, it also especially the later editions introduced a bunch of switches and
Mm.
different interlocking things. So Toby also tried creating
Yeah.
a crazy little level that was Dynasty Warriors
Yeah, there was the
theme.
Dynasty
That
Warriors one.
was
There was the
fun.
Doctor Who one.
Oh, we did a Doctor Who one,
But they
yeah.
were tricky to do because you're doing everything on a controller.
Yeah, yeah. So
And
this, yeah, but this is a
and
keyboard.
there was options to buy a keyboard and a mouse for the PlayStation,
That
but
is
we didn't.
true. And this is on the PS3, mind you.
But to have it now on the PC, pretty exciting to be able to create stages that easily because it's really a lot of just you drop this here and then from there there's all these menus and you
And because
choose
there are
these.
already so many pre-built assets that
Mm.
are super helpful, and then I'm sure the community is working on
Yes.
developing other stuff. So this has become our new time killer
Mhm.
in between, and then it's really just funny. Like, Toby, you want to do an escape room, and then you jump in. So as much as like we have a lot of games like Exit and stuff,
Mhm.
but those are definitely as physical objects, we're bounded by the fact that they're one play games,
Mhm.
and then we're waiting for the publishers to release new ones. Like we were we actually visited the mall the other day, and then we passed by a gaming library, and it's really we have all these exits.
Mhm.
It was like really like there are no new exits to buy, there are no new undos. No, not undos, no unlocks to buy.
Mhm.
um so we're kind of stuck, but at least this like gives us like so many options to play.
But at the same time, this doesn't replace the fun of tactile escape
That's
experiences.
true.
There is still a joy of being able to hold it, look around, to be able to consider realizing sometimes drawing, folding, creasing, holding it onto the light to see the silhouettes and all that. It's nice when those are wow moments.
Yeah,
And so far, Exit has been amazing in doing those, especially the Advent Calendar. If you
we
can grab it, grab
super
the
love the
Advent
advent
Calendar.
calendar.
But for the digital minded person, for someone who doesn't like legacy, for someone who feels it's not fair if I buy this for this amount of money, then I'll destroy it, then this might be a great alternative that still hits those ideas.
Yeah, and for a game that was released only in October, there is so much creator content, and then you can get it 20 off. And at 20 off, it's like 300 pesos
Mm.
locally. It's not a bad deal. It
Mm.
is half the price of like your tabletop based escape room game experience. So it's a pretty good deal, and then you can just kind of play a lot. And then it also kind of defines a slightly different play style for you because of the fact that normally when you're in an escape like a physical escape room, yes, you're likely to want to overturn everything, open every drawer, remove every piece of bedding, which we did. Um, but with this escape simulator allows you to break things.
Mm.
I as a matter of course, like every pot in that Egyptian stage, I broke it. I didn't just turn it over. I broke it just to see if there was stuff inside,
We blame you, Zelda.
and then I got a Steve achievement for putting all the trash away. So and for throwing things. So hey, fun little achievement. So it has a slightly different escape room gameplay to it,
Yes,
but it's really
my
cool.
an actual escape room costs more.
Oh yeah, I mean like not to this as physical escape room, but then I mean because of the investment of maintaining the facility, resetting the rooms,
Mhm.
and all that. Yeah, it's a pricier experience. So all these things are great, and then definitely escape simulator is a great option while like you're social distancing, and
Mhm.
then you just want to be safe and stay at home. Then it's another way to get that gaming itch. So this is also indirectly our way of like putting it out to the universe that hey, we have copies of Escape Simulator. We would love to play with more people, but we need more people to get copies of the game. So if you appreciate this discussion and this review, then we hope it encourages you to get a copy and then let us know and let's hook up on Steam, and then let's play one of these new community rooms. I'm now intrigued by that deluxe
Or let's make
mansion thing.
or let's make more
Oh,
rooms.
that's Toby making. I appreciate the art of making a room and maybe designing it on paper, but actually implementing it looks like it's going to be
Mm.
painful. But Toby has the patience for these
Yeah.
things, and it is not, and it's literally not the first time Toby has designed an escape room experience. He has a history of doing it, and he only had paper in an envelope. So this is so much better.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see. From what I was reading, I'm still absorbing how to import images. So,
Oh yeah, so you can create stuff.
but the system has an not on site, but it has a ready prepared painter.
Hmm.
So like if you want like the chairs and there's A B C D on the chairs, then you can just draw it.
Which I think explains that one. We had that one stage with a chessboard, and then there was like very hand drawn letters and numbers on it.
Yeah.
Like okay, this is really cool.
But then there's also tutorials on how to reskin the
mm,
3D objects.
okay,
So what they propose is you have the 3D object, use the painter to draw where you want things, and then you open the actual graphic. So you now see where it falls under. So then that graphic you can edit and then import the replacement so it falls in the right spot, even if you don't know how to do 3D. Because the graphic will be unfolded,
oh,
right?
okay.
So yeah,
Okay. Oh yeah, because yeah, if you've ever seen a 3D map object
Mm.
in like on a when it's prepared for design, it'll be a flat.
It's like origami.
Yeah, it's a flat thing, and then it folds around the 3D object. So
Yeah.
okay, I get it, I get it. That's cool. That's cool. So yeah, so it's definitely something to be excited about. We're pretty pumped. We lost hours and hours of this weekend, and it's been a long weekend for us given the
Mm.
holiday, and it was really like I think like after we had our tabletop RPG session, they're like, hey, you wanna play an escape room, and then we start at like midnight, and then we end it's like 5 in the morning. Because we played two or three in
Mm.
succession, and then we're still like, we didn't find the secret tokens and stuff.
Now, Pine Studios also
Studio.
studio continues to make more puzzle-related games. They have Cats in Time, which is a relaxing puzzle game with 3D dioramas and puzzles that you can solve. There's Escape Legends, which is a PvP escape game experience.
Which is for mobile devices.
And it creates games procedurally. So for those who don't get what that means, that means almost endless. There's the Birdcage series, which is a series of AR related games that allow you to solve puzzles. There's the Faraway series, which is a series of adventure games on their own tribute to Myst. There's the Academy, puzzle packed adventures in a school. There's Seum, which is speedrunners from hell.
Bastard Child of Quake 3 and Super Meat Boy. That is a very evocative
Mm.
description. But yeah, the company's been around since I think 2012 based on Wikipedia. So that's like they're you know they've been around, but then like I think they deserve a lot more love, and I
Yeah,
hope that
if
this
I
episode
remember
helps.
correctly, in one of the Reddit threads I saw, I think there's only 14 of them.
It feels like a small team.
And
It
then
feels like a
Escape
small team.
Simulator, I think, was a team of 6.
Wow. Okay, but it's as much as that's the constraint, it is still already a multi-platform game.
Yes.
We have official board for our Mac OS friends
Mm.
creating come game night because then like can we all play this? Like no, because some people literally can't buy the game. So these big platform things are a good option and give you a lot of variety. I think the only other challenge probably is system requirements. I mean, it is a 3D rendered environment, so that depending on your machine, that can be a pain. But the fact that they divided it into kind of smaller segment stages, I think that helps a lot. Officially looking at it, for example, on the store page, their recommended their minimum is Windows 7, only 2 gig of RAM, 14 gig of space, and then an x64 processor. Okay, I mean, it seems okay. We're on. You're on i7, also i5.
Uh, I'm not sure.
Okay.
And then, as of a month ago, Tom from Pine Studio has mentioned in Reddit that they've grossed over 4 million in sales
Oh, that's
in
cool.
less than 2 months of
Good for
having
them.
released
And
it.
I sorry I bought it on sale, but I hope you appreciate my 300 pesos that I've added to it. But we both got it, so that's 6.
So it's a beautiful thread on what worked, what didn't,
Oh.
flexibilities, their MVPs, their demos and festivals.
Oh, and I noticed on Steam on the store you can download a demo.
Mhm.
So in case you just want to try it out before purchasing, feel free to do so. And then I hope you
They had no
enjoy the
major
experience.
game news portal cover their game, but lots of streamers did.
Yeah, I noticed that too, and it only came up to me because of my Steam recommendations, and it was really like a what escape room, and then I added it to my wish list, and when it went on sale this weekend, I'm like, let's do it, and I'm glad I finally pulled the trigger, and then it's like Toby, there's an escape room on Steam, so that's how excited we are. We're talking about it already after a happy long weekend of escaping, simulated escaping.
Mhm.
Anything else that we should add, Toby?
I think that's it. Definitely recommended. Don't let the low poly artwork um, fool you. Some of the puzzles are trickier than expected.
Oh my gosh.
Math may be involved in a few.
But not terribly so.
Programming was involved in one
Programming.
of them, but that was because of the theme.
Chemistry?
Chemistry.
As a concept.
Don't overthink it when you go to the chemistry. We overthought it.
I was starting to, oh no, do I have to remember how to make molecular models?
But at the same time, if you miss the crystal maze,
oh,
the
oh,
game will give you crystal
it's
maze
totally
key.
that feeling. Imagine each of them are little rooms in the crystal maze and you have to get out. We have not solved all of the rooms within the 50-minute timer, which is optional, by the way. The
Yeah.
50-minute timer is just like a challenge thing, but you can spend as long as you need to solve the puzzle.
And
It's not gonna end.
you'll still do the victory dance when
You'll
you're
still
done.
do the victory dance at the end. And then I don't know why the whole time Toby was dressed like a kind of Victorian cowboy, and I was like forever a spaceman. But hey, it was our first time, and we didn't bother changing our thing. But I and the levels that Pine Studio has developed are already such a rich mix of like really showing you what the platform can do and the potential for theme, because like there's the toy room tutorial, there's the Egyptian stage, there was the mansion, there was the
The
Omega
corporation.
Corporation, and then there was the space
Yes,
one.
the space one was pretty cool.
I like the space one. I super like the space one. And the stuff made sense. But I think the Omega one did better than I thought we would.
It was a later room, so
Yeah, yeah. I mean, definitely refined. And then
mm,
the concept was very. I mean, starts corporate, and then in the end, like, oh my god, we're in a server room. What are we gonna do in a server room?
yeah,
But
that's pretty cool.
it was a lot of fun. So we hope that if you like escape room games, if you like puzzle games, then maybe you're gonna give this a shot. The Steam sale is until tomorrow, so there's still time to get it discounted or get it full price.
Mhm.
Support the developers even more.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's about it for our discussion of Escape Simulator.
We don't have any more comments and questions, so I guess that's our episode for tonight. Thank you so much for joining us.
For questions or suggestions for future episodes, fill out the Google form at bit.ly Baduy Pride Ideas. You can follow us on Twitter, Altobino Shade, RG Suniko.
You can also check out our blog, baduypride.com, for all the previous episodes and stuff about us.
Feel free to continue the conversation in the comments below. Let us know once you've gotten a chance to try Escape Simulator. What was your favorite room so far? And let's share notes about what community rooms you like. Or let's schedule an escape night because I would love to play more co op. Yeah, so that's about it. And be sure to subscribe for notifications, whether on Facebook or YouTube, so you don't miss our next live stream. Once again, I'm Rocky.
And I'm Toby.
And this is Baduy Pride.